What's good, Zelda fans? D-Rock here, and I made a video a couple weeks back now predicting a spring 2023 release date for a certain Zelda game that a lot of us in the Zelda community are extremely excited about, which also recently was given a delayed status. That video is listed and linked in the description if you want to check that receipt. But today, Zelda crew, I want to talk about the overall announcement of Breath of the Wild 2's delayed status, why I personally believe Nintendo eventually came to the decision to delay the sequel, as well as my opinion on the epic new cutscenes that were shown in the midst of the launch update for the sequel. Look, first things first, I totally understand how some of you are feeling. You are probably thinking, hey, Nintendo was just yanking our chain and making promises they can't keep. They lied to us, D-Rock, but I think we need to take a step back here a little bit and look at this objectively. For one, I don't believe that Nintendo actually came out and said, expect Breath of the Wild 2 to come out during Christmas of 2022, right? They said we are, quote, aiming at a 2022 release date, which in gaming terms means, hey, this is what we're shooting for, but we are keeping things vague because of reason X, Y, or Z, which is totally understandable. I mean, it's way better to phrase it like this than to give a deadline of a AAA title and then not have it completed. Look, what I'm trying to say here is that this is a very good thing for us, the Zelda community, and I really don't understand why so many people in this community are upset over this news. I'm not sure about you, but to me personally, I would rather have Nintendo take their time and deliver a fantastic sequel to Breath of the Wild rather than having the game come out sooner and it be a half-done game with DLC that drops every so often to fill in the story gaps. And I cannot stand DLC. I don't think you're gonna like this next point, but it needs to be said. I do think 1000% that Nintendo plans on releasing the sequel to Breath of the Wild right alongside the new Switch, much like they did with the original. From a business perspective, it totally makes sense to me. Now that Nintendo has confirmed my theory of the game releasing in spring 2023, it is even more clear to me that this is what their plan is going to be. I think another important thing to discuss as far as why Nintendo decided to delay the sequel to Breath of the Wild is that there was just way too much competition as far as huge titles that have and will release in 2022. I mean, we've seen Kirby that was just released for the Switch. We had Pokemon Legends, literally not even 3 months ago, Elden Ring, Horizon Zero Dawn, not to mention a lot more games that I am completely blanking on that have released already. Let's not forget that we do have a brand new Pokemon generation coming to the Switch during this Christmas season as well. Like, let's be real. In my opinion, these games are irrelevant, other than Pokemon, of course, and I think that Breath of the Wild 2 would easily win Game of the Year regardless of the competition. However, I don't share the same opinion with most of the gamers of the world, which is why I think that this was a very good move from Nintendo, because up against these titles, I just don't think Breath of the Wild 2 would have done so well if I look at the situation objectively. Now, let's be honest, Zelda crew, I think the icing on the cake of this entire announcement, you know, other than this guy's amazing haircut and you hitting the like button down below this video, was the new mini cutscenes that they revealed along with the news of Breath of the Wild 2 being delayed until 2023. If you take a look around the 53-second mark in the video that Nintendo released revealing the information regarding the delay of Breath of the Wild 2, you can see the cutscene I'm referring to. This scene shows our hero Link with his long hair and a strange ball of light hovering around Link's torso area. As the rest of the trailer plays, we see Link's corrupted hand reaching for the legendary Master Sword, which is quite literally completely destroyed and tainted with some sort of corrosion. There are so many possible theories here that I cannot wait to share with you, but I'll save that for another video. However, I do want to point out one thing. I strongly feel that we will be seeing Fi make a return in the sequel to Breath of the Wild. The sword glows much like it did in Skyward Sword when Fi was talking to Link, and it really gives me that vibe that the Master Sword is trying to guide Link to do something, maybe to restore the sword back to its original form? Man, let me stop before I spoil future videos. I love how Nintendo threw these tiny snippets of new scenes into the launch update as well that we haven't seen yet. It's like they truly felt bad about delaying the game, that they decided that showing something new from Breath of the Wild 2 would hopefully make up for the, quote, bad news that they brought unexpectedly. By the way, the confirmation that we get to explore the sky is just so juicy, man. Like, if they make the sky as big as the ground areas, Oh man, we are in for a treat, Zelda crew. I wonder what he meant by, quote, the expanded world goes beyond that. Does this mean we get underwater exploration as well? Zelda crew, pinch me, I have to be dreaming. The thing is, Breath of the Wild 2, even though I'm totally okay with the delay, it's still light years away it seems. But with this new information, and more importantly, these brief glimpses we got to see of the new cutscenes, the hype is very real at this time, and I am very excited to see what transpires over the next couple of months. And if you click on this video here, it's going to take you to a video talking about something that I would love to see happen in the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and I think you're going to agree with me. Much peace and love, be the light.